I'm back! Yeah, so that seemed a bit excessive, but you know, hey, I'm back! If you don't know who I am, my name's Amanda. I'm kind of new here. I took the last few weeks off because I wanted to focus on my other hobby, kayaking. Yay! I am getting ready for a 12-mile paddle. It happens every year, but I don't just do that. I have to train. The first year I did it, I looked like a T-Rex afterwards because my arms cramped up. But hey, I figured this is a good reason for a chatty get ready with me type thing. Chit chat, get ready with me. Hey, I get to tell you stuff while I put on makeup. Yay! Makeup. So, and I thought I would reach for things that I haven't used a lot of. So, here we go. Now, first thing I'm gonna do is put on this No More Baggage Needles No More from Dr. Brandt. Here it is. Part of what I've been doing this last month, besides training for my 12-mile paddle, which I'll get to, is kind of rethinking what is it that I want to continue to do. And you know what? My last videos were about, do I need to buy what the new the Norvina palette, the new hyped up palette? No, I don't. Because I have colors and I can achieve similar looks. So why am I gonna, why buy everything? So that's what I want to think of when it comes to my, what I'm going to do with my, a lot of like new ideas, brainstorming kind of thing. Oh, now I'm going in with the Ulta Nude Matte Eyeshadow Primer. I swear I know what I'm doing. And then I looked and I saw some other channels are kind of having a reinvention. Kathleen Lights did something where she recently posted a video saying, using makeup I bought, but I rarely use. I have a lot of that. So I'm kind of putting myself on a low buy. There are certain things I don't need more of. One of them is eyeshadow, because back there I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I have mascaras and lipsticks, and so I think what I need to do is start reusing some of them and going, do I love this or do I give this away? So that's what I'm gonna do for the next few weeks, is retry new things. Or perhaps I'll even try old stuff I haven't tried yet. That makes sense. So what I've been doing is moving stuff around because I haven't really been in here in a while. So what I'm gonna do, and this is no way intentional Tarte products thing, but I picked up 3 items here that are actually from Tarte. Somebody has a lot of stuff. Okay, so I rarely use my Clay Play. This is, if you Clay Play 1 before they added the blush, and I'm putting it in upside down so I can cover the mirror and not blind you. These are all neutral colors, and up top here they have things that can be used as a bronzer, contour. It's great. Sorry, I have a zit peeking through. So I think what I'm gonna do is go in with this color Sand all over the lid. Ooh. Kind of set my primer a little. Not that I need to probably do that, but it makes me feel better. So what have you guys been doing all summer? Like I said, I've been training for the kayak paddle. It's an event here in we live near my hometown. So it's fairly local. We put it in a small town on the Mississippi River, and we end up going nearly all the way down the Mississippi, not all the way. We go 12 miles down. We go through a lock and dam. There's a group of us that do it. So I'm gonna go in with the color Timber right here. And, okay. So the whole goal of this 12-mile pedal is to try and create or break a world record. I'm gonna put this in the outer corner, guys. And on this 12-mile pedal, you know what? It is a great time. The first year I did this was in 2014, and this is where the kayaking stories begin. Because the first year we did, my husband and I rented a kayak and we gave it a shot. It was fun, but it was for like 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours tops. I think we paid for renting a kayak for 2 hours. That's about what we did. He ended up going, oh yeah, we'll do this with one of his coworkers. And I was like, hey honey, they have shorter distances, I'm afraid. And he was, oh no, we're fine. We can do it. Well, I had to be towed and by our friend's husband. So I had to be towed by your friend's husband, and for like the first third, and then my husband told me for the next third, and then we went through the lock and dam. You would think that would be the scariest thing in the world, but actually what I was doing was facing a fear, and I was so proud of myself. We ended up, sorry, I had to readjust. Going through this lock and dam, and by the time from watching my friend's husband and watching my husband do what they were doing, I was able to observe what they were doing. Well, the next year, and really kind of figure out what they were doing and how to kayak appropriate, like accurate, how you're supposed to. That was a big, huge deal for me. I ended up being able to go from the lock and dam to the end point, no problem. And honestly, it's only like 2 miles maybe. I mean, it isn't much. But I did it. Okay, so when we come home, I'm bitching at my husband, who was then my boyfriend, so why he's my husband now. Sometimes I question, because I was not a nice person, especially on this one. I said it, damn it, honey, that was too far. By the way, I'm just gonna blend this timber in and see what happens. I'm blending it up into my crease. We ended up taking a shower, we took a nap, we got dressed, we did what we needed, because of this pedal obviously takes a lot out of you. It's in the heat and humidity. And he said, we're okay. Well, the very next day, sorry, there's someone outside. It's a lawn guy, no big deal. So the very next day, after I regained use of my arms, because after the shower, I went to pull up my pants and they cramped up. I looked like a freaking T-Rex. It was, well, pretty funny, to be honest with you. I found it hilarious. So, sorry, my blending skills right here are not good. So the very next day I started looking for my own kayak. I decided I just liked it. And because my friend's husband had to tow me, I decided I was gonna become competitive with him. Well, 5 years later, we have 4 kayaks. My husband uses one. We have one for a dog. I'm going to deepen that up a little bit. Add more of that terracotta or timber. That's actually, I think, all I'm going to do for the eye makeup. Let's double look. Yeah, that looks all right. So anyway, we ended up going through. The very next day, I said, oh, I want my own kayak. And my husband goes, okay. And so we did. We looked, I researched for a while. He was like, oh, we'll look into it. Well, I researched for a while. I said, you know, I looked at the pros and cons and the benefits and all that. And I found some on Craigslist that were light touring kayaks. And I said, this is it. And my husband goes, okay. So we ended up buying 2 of these kayaks. It took a little bit, but I was able to do it that fall. We ended up getting our own. We had fun. We did what we did. By the way, I'm using the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Primer. And we ended up just having a good time with it. Well, because I had this unspoken competitiveness with our friend's husband, the next year I made my husband kayak a lot. By the way, I patted it in right here. We ended up, and because I'm tan, I have to go in with my e.l.f. foundation in Buff. This is the Flawless Finish. So we ended up the following year, I was just happy I could do it. And I didn't need to be towed. I found through training up for the 12-mile thing that year, and that was in 2015, the best thing to do in kayaking is flit and flutter. I think my first mistake when I was kayaking the first time, I dug hard into the water and I tired out my arms. My arms were exhausted. It ended up being, I am using a BS Small Face Flat Brush. I've been testing these out for a while. Anyway, we ended up going through and I loved it. I was so proud of myself. And now this is the one event where I am so excited to try. It's a way for me to measure myself against myself. Me versus me. Does that make sense? Okay, so now it's time to, I had to go get a sponge and yeah, now it's time to conceal. I'm using the last of my Instant Age Rewind, and I'm probably putting on too much. In fact, I'm so desperate to use it all. We're gonna highlight on the middle. Yeah, it looks like I just crossed myself. Let's blend in the eyes. So for training for this 12-mile paddle, I have been taking my dog out. Now, we have, also I'm not doing my eyebrows today because I'm getting them waxed, because unlike many people, I have more than enough eyebrow for the rest of the world. But we have a tandem, sit on top tandem, if you are familiar with kayak gear at all, which I really don't anticipate anybody to be involved with. Or it is a Perception Rambler 13.5 or 13.5. It's a little over 13 feet. And I take my dog out in it. Also, I have a Ba-aack banana setting powder. I've not used it, so it's a setting brush from Real Techniques. We're gonna knock off anything just in case it was used for highlight, because I don't need that right now. But it's my heaviest kayak, and then I throw an extra 100 pounds on it for my dog. If you have seen old videos, then with an E, then there's a good chance that you have seen a picture of him, because he's just freaking adorable. I did do a video with him called Doggy's Day Out, and I will link it up above there somewhere. Yeah, like a mirror. There. You know, one of those places. So I set my under eye and highlight with the banana setting powder I got in Ipsy last month from Ba-aack. I'm gonna go ahead and contour. I'm also gonna use the same clay play, and I think I'm gonna go in with desert, and if I need to, I will dip into timber. And I am using a jumbo kabuki fan brush from that I got in BoxyCharm last year from It's a Crown brush. And it's a good color for me to, it's a nice cool tone, which is a good one for me to contour with. Now I am going in with an Aesthetica brush, which P12 that we got also in Boxy, and I'm gonna bronze using this terracotta color, like hand of the terracotta color. I need more bronzing. Oh goodness. It's not very. It's kind of orangey, so it's a nice warm tone. So I'm dipping into timber a little bit just because it's a better color for me, because I got a nice tan. So this past weekend we ended up kayaking past an area that holds lots of memories that I have from being a small child. And I gotta tell you, that was a lot of fun. It was so neat to see that part of the river, the Mississippi River, and have that perspective. It was really cool. We went with some friends. Right now, I have the blush bazaar I got at Christmas from Tarte. Like I said, totally not intentional. But I think I'm gonna use a color in here to blush. I don't know which one. I think I'm gonna go in with Angelic right here, just because it's not too pinky. And I'm using a Wet n Wild. I think this is actually technically a contour brush, but it's an angled brush. It doesn't matter. And I'm looking in a mirror down below. I'm going back to the clay play so I can see it up close. And because this blush bazaar also has a highlight, I'm gonna go into the color Whimsical right here. So anyway, I ended up just being enamored. Once I turned the corner and saw where we were, I did a oh my gosh, I haven't seen this since I was a kid, like little kid, like 5-ish. And so it was really neat. The buildings that were once associated with my family are now gone. The land was sold a couple times. It is what it is. But the memories were there. And I was able to see a house that was nearby and go, I rode a pony there once when I was little. I mean, I was really little, maybe 4 or 3, really little. And I was able to say, oh my gosh. So it was really cool to be able to do that. So the color I'm using, it's actually a glossy lip paint from Tarte, and like I said, totally unintentional. Wow. I look very nude. My skin but better. Kinda nude. I like it. It's kind of the goal. Let me go ahead and curl my lashes, and I'll be right back. Guys, so I'm going in with Bad Gal Lash from Benefit. This is one of the 2 dozen samples I have. Needless to say, it was a good weekend. I was really glad to have the experience of being able to see where my family, a part of the Mississippi River that was very important to my family at one time. Yeah. So guys, this is my finished look. And I was talking in the beginning about kind of changing the direction a little bit, or refocusing a little bit. I sometimes will rush through and not give you the best content or my best effort. And so what I've decided to do is to go ahead and reduce the amount of times I post a week to 2. And I think I'm only going to do it on Tuesdays and Saturdays, because I want to take that time to give you the best and to itch my nose. So, yeah. If you like what you see here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'll see y'all later. Bye.